get this figured out. This world gon' give me whatever I need until I get this vision out. Then they gon' pay me whatever I ask, cause I got it figured out. Family be checking all up on a nigga to see how I'm feeling now. Damn, they love to see a nigga really make a killing now. I put a lock on the game and I hide the code and the keys. I am not playing no games, I really play this shit for keeps. That shit for me.
MaddenHeadz YouTube, what's going on? It is your boy, Coach DC, coming back at you today with another video, and today's gonna be a little two-part video. First part was, I was asked, do I think I'm losing anything accuracy and velocity wise using classic passing? Answer is no. And whatever it is I'm losing, I'm glad I'm losing it. Yeah. I mean, I know there are people who are paid to promote that stuff. But man, I'm just telling you, it's no, I'm not missing it at all. Now, here now don't get me wrong. I teach this stuff, so it does work. It does work, no doubt about it. But it's like it's kind of like when you find all, you're dating a young lady, and you find out things about her that you just don't want to know, or that she, her house might be dirty or something. Like I'm just using an example, but anyway, it's that kind of deal with the skill-based passing with me. It's like you see the ugly part of it, and it's like, nah. And so my whole thing is, I'm only able to use classic passing the way I'm able to use it because of skill-based passing, because of the things that I learned in skill-based passing. So don't get it twisted. I feel like once you master skill-based passing, or you think you've mastered it, go back to classic and you'll see what it's like to have control of your trajectory and of your passes and all that kind of stuff, and the big difference it makes in terms of ball security and not turning the ball over. It's the steps are just more simple. Sometimes with skill-based passing, it's just like the trajectory thing just kind of goes out the window based upon whether you're trying to freeform or using placement and accuracy. And it's just like, yeah, the equation sometimes is just too much. it's not of a sum of its parts, so to speak. So nah, I just I'm at this point, I couldn't see myself going back unless they cleaned it up. But it's just like I said, it's learn it by all means. Learn it learn every aspect of it. Learn the placement and power, learn the placement and accuracy, tinker with the different speeds and all that kind of stuff, because like I said, once you learn it, you'll see. Because like I said, trajectory is everything on this game. And as you see, like, that's one thing I do in my highlights. I'm gonna make sure that I show you, like really good stuff over and over again. And I don't mean like the same highlights. I'm gonna be able to show you in different highlights. And what I think that shows is it shows consistency. And so you see on these throws, I'm able to throw like back shoulder, fade stops and all that kind of stuff. And it's just as effective as anything you probably seeing nowadays anywhere. So, you know what I mean? These are the types of routes that get open against these so-called meta defenses, comebacks, and you have to be able to put yourself in the right position and understand your route combinations. All right, so next question was, it was about adjustments. And so adjustments to me is, I guess the question was, what do I use? What are my major adjustments? And I'm assuming they mean zone adjustments and yardage. And so I'm normally at 25, 20 for flats, 5 for curls, and 10 for hooks. But that's based upon the defenses that I use. So I don't like really telling people that stuff, and then you're mostly a cover 2 guy, or you know what I'm saying. And so yeah, now for cover 2 guys, if you primarily run cover 2, your flats might need to be a little deeper. And so you know what I'm saying. So it just depends upon what style of defense you run and what do you run. I run a lot of hybrid stuff, and so for me, that yardage in the defenses that I use, you know, with the cover 3, cover 4s, and the hybrids, is interchangeable when it comes to, like, when you're in a cover 3, you can go from a curl flat to a cloud flat. You know what I mean? With the different yardages, go from 5 to 20. And so that's the reason why I only put my flats at 20, because I want them to kind of hang out in a certain area, you know, for those over routes. And you know, even actually I deal with guys who run a lot of comebacks, and so yeah, those soft squats at 20 are really good against comeback routes and all that kind of stuff. So but in terms of just like, if you mean the other way, if you mean adjustments in terms of, you know, I'm going to use all of them. Like, to me, the seam flats have always been like a little hidden little secret of mine that I use, because seam flats, for some reason, they cover those drag routes much better in the time that people normally throw the drags, like in the little pocket, you know, between the outside flat defender and the sidelines or whatever. And so yeah, those seam flats, they just play underneath a little bit better. They hedge a little bit more inside, and if the offensive guy has to, you know, if they get the time to wait, actually they will, you know, the drag will eventually run by them at a certain point, unless you have unless you have your curl flats at like 0 or something like that. But you know, but I mean, other than dropping picks, I don't really like match. I can't, for some reason. I'm just the person, I've never, it's not that I don't know how match works, because actually I've learned some stuff, and so I know how match works, but it's just, for me, I have trust issues when it comes to match zones. No, I gotta know, you know, the yardage my guy's supposed to be at. I gotta, you know, I gotta be able to point the finger at the right person and say, where were you, you know, why were you not in the spot you were supposed to be? And so, you know what I'm saying? Now match relies, it's too much trust in knowing what the guys are gonna do, and they actually have to carry that out. And so, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've tried it, you know, and I use it from time to time, because there's videos out there. There's ways to go from, you know, to zone adjustments to actually match. You can actually do both. And so, no, I actually, that's in my in my adjustment, in my setup. So I do have match on. It's just that I don't use it very often. I'll use it more maybe, like, you know, once the guy gets inside of maybe the 20 to the 25, you know, I may use match somewhere around that area, because then I can trust the zones in terms of the real estate a little bit better. And so, but it's like, I'm like anybody else, you know. I run my little hybrids. I drop people out and make sure that I try to fence the offense into a certain side of the field. You know, if I can take away the wide side of the field, to me the shorter side is a little bit easier to cover, but it just kind of depends upon what you're doing, man. But man, anyway, man, y'all know what it is. Oh, the PCEN, the Pure Skills invites. Start checking for those later today and tomorrow, guys. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. It's your boy, Coach.